welcome to another edition of Simply Fit. I'm your host, Sandy White, and as usual, I'm super duper excited because I am your number one health and wellness nutritional coach. And I want to remind you guys of our mission statement, which is to save 1 million lives by encouraging individuals to live a simply fit life through health and nutrition so that they're able to overcome suicide and depression. Now, this is our second season on WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network, and I'm super duper excited to be in partnership with them because their mission is to educate, empower, and to encourage. So with that being said, we're asking you guys to like, click, and subscribe to the channel and click the donate button so we can continue to impact this world. And also click the broadcasters button because there's a plethora of other broadcasters on this station that have wonderful information that will impact your life. So on today's segment for Simply Fit Radio, we have one of the world's greatest vegan chef out here. And you guys know with everything that's going on in the world and the latest thing that I read, which is really gross, that they found what was it, pus and blood in cow's milk, which you shouldn't be drinking anyway. So Miss Sharice is going to tell y'all a whole bunch of other alternatives that are really, really good for your body. And when I say to follow her, I mean to follow her because she's not only a sought after vegan chef. Miss Sharice used to be an ICU nurse. So you guys know she's seen a whole bunch and she's done this for over 11 years. But after having her second child, she struggled to keep the weight off. Now, she said this, not me, because I think she's gorgeous. She said she's a little on the thick side, and she's tried a lot of different, nutritional programs that are designed or quote unquote say will keep the weight off, but then the moment you get off of them, all of the weight plus some comes back. So this is why we're so excited to have her on here, because with that being said, she just, as she mentioned, she got tired of struggling and she created Green and Gorgeous. Now this is a vegan, all natural vegan menus that she's going to be talking to you guys about. And if you stick to the end, she's got a nice surprise for you. So welcome to the show, Sharice. Yay!
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
I am so excited, and I wish I was in Texas with you because before I jump ahead, because I'm excited because you already know what I want to say, right? But we want to get everybody. We want to get everybody up to speed to where I am before I start, like, oh my God, when can you come up to Maryland? Because I'm in Maryland, guys. She is in Texas. But I'm telling you, I just want her to share before I start asking her a couple questions. Really, what was the inspiration outside? Was it just the fact that you couldn't keep the weight off the way you wanted it to? Or was it a combination of not keeping the weight off and the way you felt external and internally with your body? And is that the reason you started Green and Gorgeous?
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. It is a combination of all of that. So as you mentioned, I had tried different diets and all, I say different. When I say probably every single one that was out there, I tried it and they work. They all work, right? Until you stop doing what it is that the diet says to do. And so I was really get tired of that up and down roller coaster thing. And then here's the other thing too, with my background being nursing, is that I saw that as a society, we were all getting sicker, fatter. I mean, like, to be quite honest, and thankfully, I did not have any health issues. However, I was still overweight, and we all know that when you are carrying extra weight, that puts you in a situation to that makes you more susceptible to have dis-ease, right? And to develop some of these chronic illnesses that we see all the time. And I just didn't want to be part of that crew. I didn't want to be part of the crowd. And I said, you know what? Something's got to change. I was not feeling my best. I have not eaten meat in probably 10 years. It's been 2010 since I ate beef or chicken, any of that. But I still didn't feel my best, because you may know this, but there's tons of food out there that's vegan or that's not animal sourced, but it's just not healthy for you. For instance, Oreos are vegan. You can't eat a bag of Oreos every day and be healthy. And so, but I found myself, because I was doing a lot of traveling, I found myself just still vegan or vegetarian, really at that time, vegetarian, but still not eating healthy at all. And so my energy was always low. I mean, I was the queen of naps. And of course I was carrying this extra weight. I was really fuzzy in the head. I mean, it was just a lot of things. And I said, you know what? Something's got to change. Something's got to change. And then somehow I stumbled across this way of eating, and it wasn't all about weight loss for me, initially. It wasn't all, and it's even still, it's not about weight loss. It's about so much more than weight loss. It's about health. Because here's the deal, you'll lose the weight, that the more healthy things that you can incorporate into your life, weight loss is a side effect. So you don't have to try to lose the weight, just incorporate more healthy things for yourself, for your body. And like I said, the weight starts to just kind of fall to the wayside. But again, to go back to your question, I was not feeling the greatest physically. And I knew that something had to change. So like I said, I stumbled across a book that talked about the effects that alkaline food have on your body versus acidic food that it has on your body. And it made so much sense to my science brain. You know, like I said, I'm a nursing major. So it made sense. And I thought, wow. So I just started kind of digging more, researching more. And I looked up, and I had amassed all this knowledge. And I'll be quite transparent with you. At first, for years, I never shared any of this information on how foods can help heal your body. And the reason being is I was really focused on the weight loss part of it. And I kind of felt inauthentic. So I was carrying around extra weight. And I'm like, how can you tell people about eating healthy? And, you know, when you're carrying this extra weight. And so for a long time, for years, I kind of sat on the information. And then finally I had a come to Jesus moment. And I said, you know what, girl, get over yourself. This is not about you. This is about saving lives. You've got people out here suffering with all these chronic diseases. You've got people taking 4 and 5 and 6 pills to just manage their health. Get over yourself, share the information, and just get on with it. And so that's kind of been my whole thing, is just join me on the journey. I don't think we ever arrive per se, because it's a lifetime, right? You never get to there's no upper limits to how healthy you can be. Even if you are what you would consider your perfect weight, there are no upper limits to health, right? And so my thing is, you know what, just join me on the journey. Let's do this together. Let's get fit together. Let's get healthier together. Let's get off of meds. Thankfully, I'm not on any medications. Like I said, I've never had any major health issues other than migraines. I say that, but that is one thing that I did have. The one thing that plagued me for decades was migraines. And it has a lot to do with the foods that you're eating, food sensitivities. And we think it's just, you know, stress or whatever, which migraines can be stress. But oftentimes the ailments that we feel in our body and that we experience are due to food. It's due to how we're eating. Our body is trying to tell us, I don't want this. I don't like this. And we just ignore it. And we just take some Advil, you know.
Which is crazy. And I don't understand why. And there's a place for medical doctors, but there's also a place for chefs like you that teach eating whole foods, because when people get to that point where they're eating whole foods, they get the opportunity to diagnose, when I'm eating whole foods, how do I feel? When I'm eating opposite of that, how do I feel? And then you should be able to put the 2 and 2 together. Sometimes they don't, but this is why I love all of the programs that you have to walk people through. And one of the things you touched on slightly is the chronic illnesses. How does that plague our community? And then how, like, your mission and I'm just going to speak for the African-American community, because we seem to have the most challenges, because 1, people don't go to the doctors. 2, they believe anything that the doctors say. Again, if you're a medical doctor watching this, I am not shaming you, because again, there's a place for medical doctors, but there's a place for individuals like Sharice. So talk on how being a vegan can help with chronic illnesses in the community.
Absolutely. So, and I agree with you. There's a time and place for traditional medicine, right? So if I, break my arm, don't put no lettuce on it. I'm gonna need a trauma surgeon or something. You know what I'm saying? I need some, and give me some pain medicine too while you're at it. Let's not get crazy. However, when we're talking about, chronic illnesses, and even a lot of acute illnesses, it goes back to our food. And so in our community, unfortunately, we all have somebody in our family that has high blood pressure. Probably more than one person who has high blood pressure. We've got people in our family that have diabetes. They're there, and we think, oh yeah, my great grandma had hypertension. My grandma had, or sugar. You know how we call it sugar, right? High blood sugar, or diabetes. We call it sugar. But anyway, my grandma had it. My mom had it. I'ma have it. No, 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 no. The reason why it seems to be generational, the reason why it seems to be something that just runs in your family, your DNA, it's because of how we're cooking and how we're eating. And if we can change the way we cook and the way we eat, and if we can change our relationship with food, we will see these chronic illnesses dissipate. And then, and it can stop with this generation, your generation. So that way your child doesn't have it, and that child doesn't, and their children don't have it. So and that's my biggest desire. One of my biggest desires is to help educate people on how to eat to live, so that these, like I said, chronic illnesses and many acute illnesses can cease. And we're not dying at 40 and 50. And if we do come across something like COVID, I mean, we know now that, if you're exposed to COVID, of course, if you have a lot of underlying conditions, then that might seal your fate. So how about we get rid of all the underlying conditions? How about we boost our immune system naturally through foods, fruits and vegetables, so that if we do come in contact with it, maybe we just won't get it, or maybe maybe we have the flu, feel like the flu, and we move on with our lives. We don't have that. Does not have to be our demise.
Right, right. So how has living a vegan lifestyle changed your, or how have you been able to adapt to living and eating a vegan lifestyle where it just comes natural and you don't want to go back to your old eating ways?
Excellent question. I think it's with anything, the more you live that lifestyle, the more that you do that thing, the more your body craves and wants that thing, the more you're attracted to that thing. So prime example, like this year, I really, really, really started working out, I've worked out here and there, but now, because I started out working out once a day, and then I ended up increasing to twice a day. And then so most days I work out twice a day. But if I don't work out, my body's like, what are we doing? We're not working out today? And same thing with food. So with food, some people always ask me, how do you not get tempted to eat meat when your family, because I have my husband and my two boys, and they're happily carnivorous. And they eat meat all the time. They're like, are you not tempted? Y'all, like no, I'm not tempted. Why? Because I've gone without it for so long, and I know I remember how my body felt when I did eat meat, and it didn't feel good. And so because of that, there's no desire to partake. Now, if you do like meat, I think it goes back to educating yourself. Like you even mentioned at the beginning about the pus and stuff that's in milk. And when you really look at how cattle's raised and do you really want to ingest that stuff? It's not just the meat, it's the hormones, it's the antibiotics, it's all the other stuff that you're ingesting with the meat. So it got to a point when I was transitioning, like that was one main thing. Whenever I would see meat, I would think, ew, pus. I mean, like seriously, even milk. Oh. Milk would make me just kind of almost gag, because I would think, oh my God, blood and pus in the milk, that's just disgusting.
It is. And it causes mucus to build up in your immune system. Sure. But hey guys, real quick, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back with a couple more questions for Miss Cherise, because she's got a whole bunch more to share with you all. All right, just give us a couple seconds and we'll be right back.
Mr. Happy Living here. I love good things made by good people. That's why I love Zona Plus, the world's first software-controlled handheld device that improves cardiovascular health. You're going to love it too. I use mine almost every day to keep my blood pressure right where it should be. What surprised me though is this little device has been adding muscle to my biceps too. I walk around all day feeling pumped. Check them out at Zona.com. Use coupon code HAPPY for $50 off. Plus, for every order placed during the month of October, I'll donate another $50 to WYTV7.
Guys, we're back, and we just want to thank this month's sponsor, Xena Plus and Happy Living. Again, if you're new to the channel, I'm your host, Sandy White. Click, subscribe, share, and hit that donation button. So we're back with Miss Sharice. She is one of the sought after vegan chefs that's in Texas. And I got a couple more questions, and then she's going to give you guys just a host of wonderful services that her company, Green and Gorgeous, has to offer if you want to switch over and start living a vegan lifestyle. But she's not only just going to give you these recipes, she's going to show you and walk you through them. So one of the other questions, which kind of is segued into, is if you had a magic wand, what would you like to see for our community?
Oh, well, yeah, we did kind of talk about this a little bit, but if I had a magic wand, I would just go beepity boppity boop. And I would make sure that everyone was educated, and, I would make sure that they're educated on how to eat to live. And it may sound complicated, but it's not. I promise you it's not. And in the perfect world, we would be disease free. That would be my desire. If I could just wave a wand, we would be disease free, ailment free. We would be literally living our best lives, our healthiest lives. That's what I would love to see. No debilitating.
I have a question. I want you to give the listening audience more like 3 to 5 tips that will easily encourage them to and it may not be a 100% vegan, but maybe one meal out of the day total vegan. Like, what are some tips that they can do to start, swapping out unhealthy meals?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I would say, unless you're just an all or nothing type of person and have that type of personality, don't try to be all or nothing. Make gradual changes. We've seen, through studies that the most lasting changes are gradual changes. And so, first of all, I always say you got to have a made up mind, because everything I say after this, it doesn't make a difference. If you have not made up your mind that you are going to start living healthier, eating healthier, I could tell you, I can give you 50 tips, 100 tips. Until you make up your mind, it's not going to happen. So make up your mind that you deserve to be healthier, not just for yourself, but for your family as well. That's number one. Number two, so put yourself in a community. Surround yourself with like-minded people. It is so much easier to be successful with anything that you do when you're around people who are going the same direction that you're going. Maybe they're not going, maybe their goal isn't vegan necessarily, but maybe it's just healthier. Maybe it is cutting down on meat, or whatever the case may be. So put yourself around like-minded people. How do you do that? Start watching, YouTube videos. Start watching, there's some great documentaries on Netflix. Put yourself in a community. I have a Facebook community. There's lots of Facebook communities out there, but I have a Facebook community called Holistic Health and Empowerment Community. Join that. Again, you're around like-minded people who are serious about taking their health to the next level. The third thing, and this is one thing I always share with the meat eaters out there who are like, I gotta have my chicken or whatever, whatever it is. Honestly, try some mushrooms. I'm just saying, try portobello mushrooms or even oyster mushrooms. So quick little caveat, quick little story. One day, this is when my boys were a little bit younger. I went to the store. I got some oyster mushrooms. I found this recipe online. I was going to fry some, which isn't the best, but whatever. I was just trying it out. I was going to fry some, and I was going to bake some. Alrighty. And so oyster mushrooms, I seasoned them up, battered them, all that good stuff, put them in the oven. And then, as the ones in the oven were cooking, I was like frying the ones on the stove. And the way my kitchen set up, right behind me is the island. So I would, once they were fried, I would take them out, turn around, put them on the island so they could, the oil could drain. And in the way my kitchen is set up, you can enter and exit from 2 different sides. So I'm cooking away, and emptying the container and behind me. Next thing I know, I turn around, I'm finished cooking. I turn around, I got like 2 mushrooms left. I'm like, wait a doggone minute. So I yell upstairs to the boys. I'm like, did y'all eat my mushrooms? And then they, no, I said, did y'all eat my food? And they yelled back down, or they came back down. They were like, no, Mom, no, we just ate the chicken nuggets. And I'm like, those were not chicken nuggets. But that just goes to show, I mean, these are kids. I wasn't trying to fool them. I wasn't trying to trick them. I wasn't even trying to cook for them. I was cooking for me. But they thought it was chicken nuggets, and it was oyster mushrooms. So I say all that to say, if you've never tried oyster mushrooms, go grab you some oyster mushrooms. It has the consistency of chicken. Like, it really, in your mouth, it feels like chicken. Same thing with portobello. I think portobellos feel a little like chicken, but kind of like steak too. Try mushrooms if you're wanting to just maybe wean yourself. And then the third or the fourth thing, I guess, is number 4. Just pick a meal. If you can't even imagine, not being full vegan or vegetarian, and there's a whole spectrum, you guys. There's so much room for growth, and there's health along the spectrum. So it's not a right way. I mean, it's not the perfect way. You pick what works best for you, and there's, like I said, there's so much room on the spectrum. But pick a breakfast, for instance. For breakfast, just choose to have fruit, or choose to have a smoothie. And then for lunch and dinner, do whatever you do. And it's just those little gradual steps that make a difference. Your body will start wanting more. Your body will start.
It sure will. You had my mouth watering when you were talking about the oyster mushrooms.
They're good. They're very good. Baked and fried, for that matter. But yeah, they're delicious. Yeah.
So let me, because we're getting down to the bottom of the hour, and I don't want to miss a beat on this. I want you to be able to share with the audience what you have coming up. And I know your health and wellness retreat may be sold out, but is that, just let them know if that's something annual, and what it is. And just so if it is annual, it's something that they can work on to do next year, and then the other services that you have, and then how to reach you.
Okay, excellent. So yes, the health and wellness retreat is sold out. But it is a luxury health and wellness retreat. It is, at this point in time, offered here in Houston, or near Houston, I should say. And it is, it's all things holistic health. So not just food related. We will, there's a private chef, there's who will be preparing vegan meals, but also raw vegan as well. And throughout the retreat, we actually you get to learn, or the participants get to learn, how to create really yummy, healthy, raw vegan desserts. Here's the thing about the raw vegan stuff: it's like 10 minutes max, and you're done, and it's so delicious. Because I can tell you one thing, and you're going to remember about 80%, but if I can involve you in the process, if we can get in the kitchen and do it together, you're going to retain that information so much more. And then you can go home and recreate that for yourself, for your family, and then ultimately spread it to the community. So that's just one aspect. You got creekside massages, you got yoga, meditation, breath work. I mean, it's all things relaxing. And the whole point of it is, I'm sorry, let me stop for 1 second. Also in that, learning more about medicinal herbs, learning more about essential oils. These are natural things, plant extracts that we can infuse into our daily lives that can have a dramatic effect on not just our physical health, but our mental health and our emotional health as well. So yeah, there's lots of just incredible activities. So the next retreat will be in March. You can stay connected I'm at Sharice Williams on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram mostly is where you'll find me. And then I mentioned the Facebook group. I would definitely encourage folks, if you really want to be in a community of people, like-minded people, holistic health and empowerment community is my Facebook group. It's a free group. Stay connected. And then Sharice Williams on all social media platforms.
Now, the cooking classes, you don't do those virtually. They're all in person?
Excellent question. Transitioning to virtual. They are, so still in person, just not in a big group settings like before, like pre-COVID, right? Things have changed a little bit. Right. But still offering them in person, and we're transitioning to offering them virtually as well.
Now, you just mentioned on this where, you want to have people transition and some people don't know how to meal prep. Are you still doing that, or because of COVID, you're not doing the home transitions where you're showing people literally what to do and going grocery shopping with them and stuff like that?
No, that's still, yeah, we're still doing that in person, not virtually, in person. And we basically take over your whole kitchen. Really, I hear it all the time. People buy Vitamixes and this and that, all these appliances, but they don't use them because they don't know what to do with them. So literally, we clear out the I say me and the other person clear out the pantry of things that just don't serve them, stock it with things that do serve them. We definitely kind of have one-on-one time in the kitchen. So we're creating things in the kitchen, stocking their pantry, stocking the refrigerator, that type of thing, grocery shopping as well, teaching how to shop the produce and the perimeter, right? And so yes, that's still doing that, absolutely, because it's not in a group setting, it's one-on-one.
Thank you so much, Sharice. And guys, when I say she's sought after, she is, so get on her waiting list. But if you stay to the end, she was so kind enough that she provided a free a link for us so you can go and get her quick and easy raw vegan recipe. So check that out. Go on her website, follow her. I'm telling you, go on the journey with her. You will not be disappointed. Hey guys, I'm Sandy White, your host of Simply Fit Radio, your #1 health and wellness nutritional coach. If you have just joined in, make sure to like, smash, donate, tell everybody, because I'm telling you, Sharice is the bomb, diggity bomb. So we come on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Don't forget to come back next week and then hit that button, donate, check out the other broadcasters, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.